Okay, today we are working on 2.4 practice. So we're going to do some of these questions. We're not going to do all of them. I just want to make sure you guys understand how to do proofs with algebra before we move on to geometry. So we're going to go ahead and do number 1. I'm just going to go ahead and write it at the bottom. You guys could split your screen, but we are going to be working on some of these. So first one we're going to work on is number 1. So number 1 is 3x plus 4. So I'm just going to go ahead and write it right here. I'm going to go ahead and draw my t-chart. So we're going to try and fit 2 on here, so definitely kind of write it a little small. I'm going to go ahead and do my t-chart. I have my statements and my reasons. Everybody should be writing this down. You guys will have to turn this in by the end of class. All right, looking at it, I'm going to go ahead and write my first one, which is what they're giving me. So 3x plus 4 equals 31. Do you guys want to solve it first, or do you want to do statement, reason, statement, reason? Okay. For this one, we'll go ahead and do them together. And then for the next one, we'll solve it first and then do our reasons last. So looking at this, what is my first reason? Given. Always it's going to be given. All right, looking at this one now, what should I do first? Yes.
2 minutes. I need to choose really quick. Please.
Go. What should I do first? Good. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to use a different color. I'm not going to write statement number 2. I'm just going to go ahead and use a different color. And I'm subtracting 4. So now I'm going to get 3x equals what? Good.
You have to turn in the work too?
Yeah. All right, so looking at it, my second one is going to be what property? Good. This is going to be subtraction property. Because I did it to both sides, I'm going to have that of equality. So again, just a refresher, whenever you're looking at this, you're looking at what you did to get there, to get to number 2.
Is it wrong if I just put subtraction?
Yes, because you need to be more specific.
So what's the difference with that and property equation?
Because it's a specific property. When you're stating reasons, it has to be a property, postulate, theorem. So you have to make sure you're stating it correctly. All right, and what should I do next? I'm going to go ahead. Oops, that is a highlighter. I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by 3. And with that, x is going to equal, for step 3, what? Good. So, step 3, reason 3, what is that reason going to be?
Division.
This is going to be the division property because I did it to both sides of equality. Okay, and again, how am I getting it? How am I going from 2 to 3? It's my division property, and I'm done. So this one was pretty short. All right, let's go ahead and look at number 2. Yes. Yeah, I'll put it back up. Just give me a second. Let me go ahead and write number 2. Oops. Number 2. I have 3 times 2x plus 1 equals 15. All right, we're going to also set up our t-chart. If you need number 1, I promise I'll go back to it. Let's just go ahead and get started on number 2. So we're going to go ahead and set up our t-chart. Same thing we did before. I have my statements and my reasons. And for this, we're just going to go ahead and solve it first. So we're going to solve it first, and then we're going to go back and plug in our reasons. So for the first one, I'm just writing what they gave me. And looking at it, what should I solve first? What am I going to do first?
Division.
Okay, we're going to do our reasons last. So we're just solving our statements.
Distribution.
Good, I'm going to go ahead and I'm showing you guys my distribution. So I'm going to get 6x plus 3 equals 15. And then what do I have to do next?
Subtract 3.
Good, I'm going to go ahead and subtract 3 from both sides. I am going to get 6x equals 12. And then what should I do next?
Divide by 6.
Divide both sides by 6. Perfect. And x is going to equal 2. Okay, let me go back and let me go ahead and write my reasons. So number 1 is going to be given always. Number 2, what's my second reason? Distributive property.
Division's 3. Can't just put distribute for 2.
Distribute's fine. Right.
Distribute property though.
It's for this one's not of equality because you're not distributing to both sides of my equal sign. I'm just doing it on one side. So that's why you have of equality and just property by itself. Because I'm not moving it to both sides of my equal sign, I'm not distributing. I can't move it to both sides of the equal sign. It's just distributive property. So number 3, how am I getting from 2 to 3? What property is that? Good. This one is subtraction property of equality because I'm doing it to both sides of my equal sign. And how am I getting from 3 to 4? Division. Oops. Division property of equality because I'm doing it to both sides. So if you want to highlight what you're doing, where, not a highlighter. Okay, I'm doing my distribution. Then how am I getting from 2 to 3? I'm doing my subtraction. How am I getting from 3 to 4? I'm doing my division, and I'm done. All right, do we have any questions on those? All right, let's go ahead and do number 3. This one's 1/2. All right, number, oops. Oh my goodness, choose every single color. Number 3 is gonna be 1/2 times 16x minus 8 equals 2 times x plus 16. All right, this one is gonna be a little bit of a challenge because I have my division. I want you guys to try and do this one on your own. Okay, I'm gonna give you about 3-ish minutes to try and solve it. Remember, you're doing your T-chart, you're writing your statements and your reasons. Please go ahead and start. All right, so solving this, we have our statement and our reason. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw it out. I'm gonna have to zoom in on this one because I don't have much space. I have my statements and reasons. And then I'm just gonna rewrite what they gave me. Am I writing it? Is this the correct one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, should we solve it first? Or should we... Okay, should we do our statements first, or should we do our reasons, or do them together?
Let's do the statements first.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and solve it first. So I'm gonna also show you guys my work while I'm solving it. So what should I do first? So I'm gonna go ahead and show you my distribution. Okay, so my step 2 is going to be 8x minus 4 equals 2x plus 32. Okay, stopping here, we all could have something different. It depends on how we solved it. You could get rid of your 4 first, your 2x, your 32, your 8x. Depends on how we want to do it, but we should still get to the same answer. So some of our reasons could be different, because if you think about it, I saw a lot of you guys add 4. However, someone could have subtracted 32. Someone could have subtracted 2x. So it all depends on how you guys want to solve it yourself. For your test, most likely they're going to be fill in the blank. So you're not going to have to write out a whole proof like this using algebraic properties.
Just like this.
It'll most likely be fill in the blank. Okay, so I'll probably leave a couple reasonings out. You'll just have to write in what reasonings they are, maybe some work you'll have to write, but you're not going to have to write out an entire thing like this. So personal preference, who would like to volunteer how they solved it? Yes.
So, for step 3, you're gonna, or what I did is I subtracted 2x.
Okay, so we're going to get rid of our 2x first. So if you did something else, just leave your work, yes, but we're going to do the 2x because he said 2x. If you did the plus 4, I'll look it over if you want me to look it over it, but you could totally do plus 4 first. But we're just going to go ahead and subtract 2x. So then for my 3, I'm going to have 6x minus 4 equals 32. And then what should I do?
Or add 4.
Good, I'm going to go ahead and add 4. I'm going to get 6x equals 36. What should I do next?
And then you divide.
Divide by 6, and then x is going to equal?
6.
All right, good. So let's go ahead and state our reasons. The first one is going to be? Given. The first one is always given. So my second one is going to be?
Subtraction.
Distributive property. Oops. All right, step 3. How am I getting from 2 to 3?
You're subtracting.
Good. This is subtraction property of equality. And how am I getting from 3 to 4? Good. Someone said it. Thank you. Adding addition property of equality. And my last step, step 5. Good. Division property. Division property of equality. Okay, so again, just highlighting where I'm getting these from. Step 1 is always going to be given. Step 2, I'm doing my distribution. Step 3, I'm subtracting to both sides of my equal sign. Please make sure you understand it's both sides of your equal sign, guys. Step 4, that's why it's of equality. And step 5. Any questions on how to solve these? We're going to go ahead and do a couple more examples.
So are we only submitting whatever we do here in class?
Yes. All right, we are going to go ahead and just do number 5. I'm going to do number 5 at the side just so you could see something that is not just addition, division, multiplication, subtraction. So I'm going to do number 5. I think I learned how to take a picture on here. Perfect. Number 5 I'm going to do at the side right here. All right, so we're still going to do the same. We have our T-chart. Say it one more time.
What's that sign after the equal one?
Pi.
All right, for this one, it's going to be a little different because they want us to solve for h. So I have v equals pi r squared h. Oops, that should be a 2. How would I get rid of my pi r squared? How would I get rid of that?
You divide it by v.
Good. I'm going to divide it. I'm going to divide it and move it to the other side. So I'm going to get v Or you know what? Let me show you in blue. So you know what I'm moving over. I'm dividing by pi r squared. Pi r squared. So I'm going to get v over pi r squared equals h, but I want my h in front. So my step 3, I'm changing it to h equals v over pi r squared. So my reasoning, the first reason is going to be what? Given, we know that. My second reason is going to be what?
Dividing.
Good, division property. And then my third reason, keep in mind we covered these last class. Maybe a little confusing, but we covered something that was like a reflection. Good. Symmetric property, okay? It's symmetrical. All I did was flip it. It's the exact same thing, I just flipped it. So this one would be symmetric. Symmetric property. So you still have to study all the properties that we covered last class, okay? So don't think, oh, we're not going to use symmetric, we're not going to use transitive, we're not going to use reflexive. We are going to use those. You still have to know those. All right. Yeah, give me a second. I'll go back, I promise. So it says, looking at number 7, if x equals y, then negative 2x equals negative 2y. What property would this be? What property would number 7 be? If x equals y and negative 2x equals negative 2y, what would this be? Not substitution. I'm not plugging something in. What did I add? What operation did I just...
What the thing we just said, symmetric.
It's not symmetric. All I did was add in some multiplication. So looking at this one, this would be multiplication property of equality.
Oh, I thought it was like more to it.
We're just naming the property. Looking at number 8, hopefully we remember this one. Number 8, if the measure of angle A equals the measure of angle B, and the measure of angle B equals 42, then the measure of angle A equals 42. What is this? This is not reflective.
Converse?
Not converse. It's what? Transitive. Why is it transitive? Remember, we remember transitive as law of syllogism. It's the same. It's similar. Okay, so I'm getting rid of what's in the middle. I'm keeping my two sides. I'm blending it together. This one is going to be transitive property. Okay, so you have to study the vocabulary. All right, then we're just going to do 9 and 10. It says addition property of equality. M, the measure of angle J is 30. Then the measure of angle J plus the measure of angle K equals, what's the measure of angle J?
30.
All I'm doing is plugging this in. It's being plugged in. So looking at it, my answer would be 30 degrees plus the measure of angle K. Okay, I'm just plugging whatever I have in.
So what's the...
All right, looking at number 10, it says reflexive property. Reflexive means what? Okay, keep in mind, reflect is similar to symmetric. Remember, it's flipped. So don't get that mixed up with symmetric. Okay, symmetric means it's flipped, it's a reflection, but reflexive just means it's the exact same thing. Okay, GH is equal to GH. And the last one, distributive property, what would my first blank be?
Yeah.
Good. And what would my next blank be? Good. All you're doing is distributing it. Do we have any questions?
No.
No? Okay.